afternoon. Today we're going to be working on some stuff down in the crawl space at Mom and Dad's. So I figured you guys can come along. It's a beautiful day here in between rainstorms. I'm going to go change out their water filters. They're on an artesian well. So check and check. All right, so come along and we'll go down to the crawl space. All right, so we're going down here to the crawl space. There we go. My little sidekick there. Got some filters. Got our buckets to put the old filters in. We got a carbon filter, and then we got a standard filter. So yeah, time to crawl down to the old crawl space. All right, so now we're gonna go into the old crawl space here, and we'll see how it goes. Woohoo, Jimmy! Here we go. Don't mind that. That was just something I kicked out of the way. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, so I got the supervisor up here. Yeah, and now I'm gonna be coming down here. And this is a fancy crawl space down here. This is your typical crawl space in most Alaska homes, at least the ones I've been in. So we're gonna go way over there to the other corner. That's where all the filters are. Okay. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, so we're getting out here into the back side of the crawl space. I'm gonna show you what we got going on here. So over here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there, we got our filter system. Crawl underneath this heater vent. Get back up here. I'll show you what we got. We got our standard 2-filter system here. Got a carbon filter and a standard filter. I got them labeled. And you got your inlet coming in. You just gotta make sure you shut off the water. So yeah, so how you do it, you change or shut off your downward stream checkoff valve first. And then isolate the filters, drain them, relieve the pressure, and then unscrew them. Clean out the tank, replace the filters, and then put them back in. Yeah, it's really pretty easy. Just kind of a hassle. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. All right. So anyway, so we got our water inlet pipe over here coming in, coming around, coming down into here. So we don't want any air to go, or as little air as possible to go into the house. Okay, I'm gonna shut the water off. Okay. So you shut off the check valve here. Isolates it, keeps no more water coming in. Man, cobwebs. Then we got another check valve back here we're going to shut off. And how you check is if it's perpendicular to your water pipe, the handle of the shutoff valve, that's how you know it's shut off. So right now I got everything, the filters are isolated now, they're shut off. There's no water coming in, there's no water going out. Your friend, big deep kitchen garbage can, I put it under the tank, because I'm going to release the pressure up here and the water's going to come out. That way I can unscrew it. And I have my filter wrenches here. I got my food safe lube, because there's an O-ring in there. I got to clean and lube up every time. Paper towels. And I got my filters. So that's where we're at. So stick around. All right, so we have our filters. Got them isolated. And we just need to relieve some pressure. And this system has a red button on top that you just need to press. And that'll get some water to start coming out, and you'll see that here shortly, or hear it. Here. So do it lightly, and see that was it. That's to release the pressure. Take your wrench. Hopefully you guys can see this. All right, so we got the filter off of the carbon filter. I'm gonna give that up to the guy upstairs. He's gonna clean off all the black silt. I don't know if you can see all that. That's the black silt on there in the filter case, and then we'll take it up. So we got your carbon filter, and I'll just go ahead and put the other one in here too while we're at it. Get this taken care of. Get it all done. Get it all done. I already got this one loose, which is handy. Pull the water out of this. Make it a little lighter for me to get this filter out. All right, it'll catch the water. We'll get this going, and then get this to Dad upstairs, who will clean them out, and we'll get this job done. Move on to the next project. Okay, so this is the standard filter. Now let me show you this one. So standard filter, right? Nice and white, when new. And this is what they look like after about 3 months here. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's kind of like the in the Space Odyssey movie, the black filter casing all cleaned up. And very important that before you do this, you save some water in some containers, because you know your water shut off when you're doing this. So yeah, very important. Save some water in some containers so you can rinse out the sediments and clean up your tank. What I'm doing now is I am putting on some of that lubricant that's food safe on my O-ring. I don't know if you can see that. My O-ring. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, the O-ring helps seal up the filter case, so it prevents leaks. Take the plastic off your new fancy filters. Now these will also have some rubber O-rings on top of the filter. Make sure you leave those on. That helps get a good seal. And these are universal, so you can go this way or this way, it don't matter. But for example, on this system, there's a little male end down there that you want to make sure you put in the female end here. And what that will do is that will force the water, when it comes in, water comes in, right? It'll go in through the center of the filter, because that's what you want. So you want to make sure that you get this lined up good. And then once you get it lined up good, that you're happy with it, there we go. Put that in there, and then we're going to reattach it up here. So you want to have upward pressure, so whoa. Okay, try that again. Mistakes will happen. Make sure you don't have any crap on your O-ring here. Put it on there. Put it in the seat. Seat it properly. Now when you put this in there, you want to make sure you have upward pressure with my bottom hand here. And then you're going to spin it with your other hand. So you want to make sure your O-ring is not kinked in the threads or anything like that. And you're pushing up and doing the righty-tighty. And if you give it centrifugal force, it will keep it in the center. And it should go right up. Yep, no problem like that. There you go. It says hand tighten them, but I always give it just a little extra. Quarter turn. And that is good. Okay. So that was the carbon filter has been replaced. And now we're just going to repeat the system now with the standard filter. Make sure you get your O-ring out of your fitting. O-ring. Lube it up with some food safe lubricant. Coat the O-ring. Completely coat the O-ring here. I'm curious to see if this video turns out. I got a new little stand for my iPhone camera. So I'm testing it out down here, and I figured what better place than the dark crawl space of my folks' house. You know, do a little 2 birds, 1 stone type thing. Alright, so standard filter. Same kind of, there's no rubber or anything, gasket that you gotta worry about here. It just fits right over the male end. Same kind of concept. It'll have the hole in the center because the water comes through the center. Water will go into your filter, and then the filter will take out all the sediment. And then when it goes to the next filter, that's when it takes out the micro stuff, the small stuff. Okay. So just do a quick check. We got the O-ring lubed up, filter in place. Now we got the hand on the bottom, hand on the side. Insert it, make sure you're not kinking any of the O-ring. Upward pressure and go righty-tighty. A little centrifugal force. Keep that thing centered, keep the filter centered. Hand tight. And what I like to do is take my wrench, it'll come with your filter system, and just give it a little quarter turn or whatever it takes, and you know, you just want to make sure it's tight. So that's what we got going on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put water into our filter system here. So we ran our water line is back here. This is our water line here, our inlet. Comes in here, down, and then into our system here, okay? So we got a shut-off valve here. We got a shut-off valve here. This goes into the house. If we open that now, we're going to take all the water that's in here and put it, all the air, I should say, that's in here. If we open this, we're going to let all that air go into our house. We don't want that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to open up the inlet valve. So we're going to let that come in. Okay. And right now that water is coming in and filling up this tank and this tank and pushing all that air up to the top that's in there. You're going to take your bucket, which in this case I have a kitchen trash can, right? It's cleaned out, empty, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it underneath here, and if you look up here at the top, there's this red pressure button right here. I'm going to push that down, and that's going to let air and water come out of this system. Yeah. You see this water? It's this water from when I did it before. Don't worry about that. In fact, now that I can hear some of you saying, "Was that water from? He's leaking." I'll get that cleaned up right now. All right, get that cleaned up, make it look pretty, get all the bugs and dust off there. There we go, looking pretty, looking pretty. Okay, so it's always good to make sure you wipe off any excess water from the installation or the reinstallation of your filter thing. And this will help you to determine whether or not you have any leaks after your install. All right, So we'll do that and put that over here in the garbage. Okay, so I know that usually when I do the pressure release, the water comes out this way and goes all over the place. So I'm gonna try my best to get my container to catch the water. So here we go. We're just gonna let that air come out. And what that's doing is that water coming in is pushing that air out. And we're gonna keep doing that. And I'm catching the water as it comes down into my bucket, at least for the most part. Still got air in there, so I'm letting it come out. Let that air kind of build back up. All right, we'll keep doing it. Let that air build back up. And it's a pretty good system. You know, you got your standard filter, carbon filter. It's a good system. Some other places in Alaska has a more filter system. Some have less, so it all depends on what kind of water you got from your well. So yeah, where my folks live, they're on a well system. The well's in their backyard, you know, it's pumped into the house. And before, they didn't have any filters other than what was on the like refrigerator. And so we went to this a couple years ago, and it's been pretty good. We changed it about every 6 months. And I'll keep releasing the pressure until I get more water than air. Okay, so now I'm just going to open up the check valve here, and you should hear it go from here into there. That's all there is to it. You hear it going from the carbon filter into the pipes there. Okay. So again, I'm just going to do some last minute house cleaning, or housekeeping, I should say. Make sure everything's good. Make sure I don't got any leaks. Because, you know, I don't come down here much, right? So I want to make sure I don't have a little drip that I don't check for 6 months. All right, then you give a shout out to the folks upstairs. Okay, run your water. And that'll do it. Everything looks good here. Got some cobwebs. Those are always fun to play with down here. Okay. All right, and I got no leaks or anything. All right, so real quick, going over our system here. All right, we're going over our system here. So, again, when these are parallel, horizontal, however you want to look at it, with the pipe, it's open. You got an open system here going into our standard filter, all the way down there. Comes into the center of the filter. Water filters through the filter, up around the outside of the filter, up and into the pipe up here, into the carbon filter, comes down through the center of the carbon filter, filters through the filter, and then goes up around it, and then into the house. Again, this check valve is horizontal or parallel to the pipe into the house, and it's working its magic of plumbing. So we'll go back upstairs and we'll finish this up with some tips on how to make this as painless as possible. All right, so we are cleaning up here, and we are getting out of here. See if I can get some light on the situation. Come on. There we go. All right. So like all crawl spaces, the best thing to do is duck. But yeah, we got some nice carpet down here. You know, we got your storage down here. Pretty much this is where the magic happens. And then you go over here to this guy. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi.
Okay, she's all done, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna turn the water on.
All right, so we're all done. Turn off your lights, threw the garbage away, close up the crawl space. All right, let's go see what we got going on here. Guard dog on duty?
Huh?
How's she working?
Go ahead, turn it on.
Look at that. No air, no nothing, boy, look good. All right. Okay, so that was the completion of the water filter system replacement. Some tips when you get started. Make sure you have your filters. Make sure they're the correct filters. Make sure you have your stuff in place, like a bucket or two to catch your water, to hold the old filters and stuff. Garbage bags on hand down there in the crawl space or wherever your system is. And you want to make sure that you save some water up here topside, so you can clean off your filter housing and rinse off your O-rings. And then when you get back downstairs or in the crawl space, it's a lot easier to put the stuff together. Make sure you open up the inlet check valve first so you don't get a bunch of air in your system. And then before you open up the other gate valve, make sure that you bleed off the air. And I hope you found it interesting, and leave some comments below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. All right, take care.